Welcome. We are live here on the Tech Swing Podcast with the star of the show, Mr. Coach Stan over there, decked out in all Maryland gear. He's going full terp on us, y'all. It looks like terp now. And me, of course. Hey, Watson Radio Man, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all checking us out. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sorry, I had to fix subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff. Miguel, how you been, brother?
Been well, man. Busy couple of weeks. I started coaching my 17U team. They're pretty stacked, physically, mentally, spiritually, all that good stuff. So I'm excited about it. Have a full coaching staff, and um, you know, the organization that I am representing, welcome me with open arms. And it was bittersweet though, because I had to leave the 14U team. I could still help out with them, but those guys were, real fun to coach and real fun to watch. So the Rawlings Prospects 14U team, I believe, right at the time of our last episode was 20-5. And I believe now they're 23-6 or something crazy like that.
Okay,
So
good.
they're doing pretty good.
Good. Congratulations to the Rawlings Prospects 14U team, and good luck to the Rawlings Prospects 17U team.
2020, you know how they change it up when they get to high school, so they're the 2023. We
Okay,
are,
yeah, that's right. The 20, yeah. I can't
yeah,
keep up with that though.
I can't either. Because we have we have two 23 teams. One is the national team and one is the select team. So I coach the select team. So we'll be traveling to like Richmond, Virginia, Staten Island, pretty much all up and down the mid-Atlantic.
Well, good luck with that, brother.
Yeah,
Enjoy. Enjoy that. Um, Interesting week in sports. Of course, as we know, we have the NBA playoffs going, and it's Eastern Conference, Western Conference. It's conference final time. So we have the Golden State Warriors up 3 games to 1 on the Dallas Mavericks, and the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat tied up 2-2. You know, they've been going at it. Been some crazy games, some blowouts. They said that this playoff has had the record for blowouts, I think, is 24. And I want to say, when I heard that, it was before last night's game. And so this playoffs has 23 blowouts. And you still have the rest of the conference final round and the finals to go. And you're always good for at least one blowout in the finals. So
right.
I think this playoffs may break that record. I don't know. Have you ever? I know you're not a big basketball guy anymore. Are you? Have you checked out any of the games since the Sixers have gotten?
I've been kind of caught up in the Sixer stuff, but yeah, I haven't really kept track of basketball too much. Because it's like certain sports, if your team is out of it, like I still follow hockey because playoff hockey is just amazing to me. And I believe it's probably tied for the second best sport outside of football and baseball. Um, Again, no slight to basketball and basketball fans, but just for pure excitement, it's just an exciting sport to watch. But you know,
I've
I
been
think
told. Well, I shouldn't say I've been told. I've heard people say that the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs in all of sports.
I believe, minus the football playoffs this past season, because that was I haven't been that I haven't seen that much back and forth in every single playoff game in a long time. I don't think there was any blowouts in the NFL playoffs this past year. But playoff
Um,
hockey's
um,
oh
but
I
you know very well
yeah, I can't it was his first playoff
that
game.
wasn't playoffs, dude. That was week 18, wasn't it? Week 19.
Yeah, there you go. I like what you did there. I love what you did there. Um, yeah. So minus that, all the other games, the games that were, there was just an exciting playoff. But a playoff hockey is absolutely amazing. And I think the disappointing part about it is a lot of the small market teams, like Tampa Bay, like they have like 4 Stanley Cups, and nobody's really talking about it because it's Tampa Bay. And I think
And,
that, huh?
and it's hockey.
And it's hockey, right? But hockey it's a very underrated sport.
Hockey is a good sport when. Sorry, let me rephrase the way I'm going to say that. Hockey's actually a great sport, but hockey is most interesting, and you can say this for any sport when your team is good. I couldn't name. I don't think I can name one player. I might be able to name one player on the Flyers, and I know, and I'm not talking about Claude Giroux, who was traded this year to Carolina. Outside of Claude Giroux, I don't
He was traded to Florida.
see. There you go.
It's all right.
Outside of Claude Giroux, I don't think. I'm trying to think of another Flyer, but I can't right now. Oh, Jeff Carter.
Uh,
I don't know what
he,
position he plays, but
but
as
he
far as
was
Jeff
tra-
Carter,
he was traded
he
about eight
wasn't that
years.
goalie. He's the goalie.
No, Jeff Carter was a forward. He was traded about 8 years
Carter
ago.
Hart. I meant Carter Hart. Carter Hart. That's what I meant. Sorry. Jeff Carter was traded years ago
Right.
to I want to say either Columbus or L.A.
So he wound up in L.A. along with a player, I believe, named Mike Richards, and they both
Who was
won.
also traded.
Right, and
They
they
were
won
traded at the
Stanley
same time.
Cups. Right, they won Stanley Cups together for the Kings.
Didn't they? Oh, they didn't win for Columbus too.
Columbus has not won a Stanley Cup.
Okay. Yeah. Um. But yeah, Carter Hart is the only other person I can name, and I named him wrong. So, um, that's what it is.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, and they're going through a transition because they were probably one of the worst, if not the worst, team in hockey. So, but
you
I
know
mean,
what's crazy though?
say again.
You know what's crazy? In the if I remember correctly, I'm gonna say in the bubble season, but I don't think they actually had a bubble. And I
No,
believe they made the playoffs,
yes,
and I think they got I don't think they got swept. They might have got swept by the Islanders, but they were supposed to be like the next team to be the next big thing at
they
that
they were kind of where the Sixers were when Ben Simmons and um everyone was healthy. That's kind of where they were, and then something happened in the beginning of the season. I think one or two injuries, and then I think we lost like a key defenseman, and it just fell completely apart. That's why they traded Giroux. So that
give them a chance to win.
right, and I think they missed the. It was what so Giroux was in that spot where they missed the mark on getting true value for him in a trade because he's at that point where they held on to him a little too long.
See, he's very seasoned.
Right. So they could have probably got better and more for him um
Years ago,
years ago. I think they missed
I
an
feel like
opportunity.
I feel like he was on the team for like 27 years.
Yeah, he's like the although I would say he's better. He's like the Von Hayes of of the Flyers or,
Claude Giroux was actually a star though. I didn't ever
he
consider Von
was.
Hayes a star, but Claude Giroux
Yeah,
was a star.
and there's an argument out there that because they called him 5 for 1 because he was traded 5 players for one, and there's some argument that technically he actually met the mark, whatever. Um, but he's okay. He was okay. Nice guy though.
Oh, did you meet him?
Sorry, I
Talking about Von
mixed that.
Hayes,
Sorry, my wife just gave me a baked lemon cheesecake tasty cake, and I'm completely surprised in it all.
hey, what's up?
Impromptu live cameo on the Check Swing podcast.
I'm trying to see if I can sneak a peek of this baked lemon apple pie. Nice, nice. Shout out to Tasty Cake.
Oh, who's not a sponsor? Hold on, I got to do that
It could
better.
be, y'all can go ahead and.
This is brought to you by Tasty Ache.
Actually, I had a Tasty Cake today myself.
Nice.
I was at my mom's house. She gave me a Well, she gave me a jelly crimpet. You know the jelly crimpet.
Yeah.
You know what jelly crimpets are. You're from Philadelphia. I had the jelly crimpet. Like she had a couple things in there, and I was like, "You got any jelly crimpets?" I ain't had one. I don't know the last time I had a jelly crimpet. You had a jelly crimpet?
I don't like jelly. I like there's certain crimpets I like, but I don't like jelly ones.
Yo, the jelly crimpets are good. I like the butterscotch Jones. Which all right, I gotta go here. I mean, this is how it is. Live show. What are your top 5 go-to tasty cakes?
Don't go there with me.
Come on.
Um,
Come on.
lemon. I like the lemon pies.
Okay.
I like the pie. They only come out during oh man, they only come out during Easter. It's lemon. Oh, what is it?
Uh-huh.
It has a graham cracker crust.
Lemon cheesecake?
Yes. No, it wasn't lemon. It's not this. Is it? It is. Oh, I got it. That's what. Yeah, that because it used to come out only like during Easter for some reason. Like Easter, I guess, was the seasonal time for lemon cheesecake on a graham cracker. So this is second.
Okay.
Um. Oh, tasty cake. Uh.
Oh, come on, man. Come
I'm trying to
on.
think of my five favorite tasty cake. Joint.
Butterscotch crimpet ain't up there?
No, I don't.
Chocolate cake?
Huh?
The chocolate cupcake?
Yes, the chocolate cupcake and the Jones the lemon glazed ones,
Oh.
the glazed pies.
Ooh. None of the pies are
You,
on my I'm not a big pie guy.
and yeah, I don't because I'm not a sweets like I'm a cake pie cookie type of guy, you know. But as far as like candy, like even candies, I do candy bars, but I like what's your addiction? Your there it is
Um, Gummies. I gotta have my
the
gummies.
gummies.
My wife bought me a bag of gummies today.
What
Like
but
this.
what were the smaller packs? What are the Swedish, not the Swedish fish? Where are they? You used to
What's up?
have there were little packs of these candies, and you used to eat them by the
Oh,
pound.
that would be like the Welch's fruit snacks.
The fruit snacks, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who's? Because I'd always sit in the Chester dugout, and it's like, why are there 30 wrappers on the floor? Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
coach.
it's I'm a fruit snack guy. I am a fruit snack guy. It's funny. Um, Growing up, my folks did not buy fruit snacks. Like maybe I could probably count on one hand fruit snacks. Like they didn't buy that.
My
But
my
I
my
had
mom,
friends that would have them, and I would always eat them. Like, oh my god, this is like the greatest thing ever.
my mom always bought cereal by the buckets, by the gallons.
Love cereal. I
Um,
don't eat anymore because of milk, lactose, and stuff. But
you try almond milk. Almond milk is fantastic.
I can't. The wife is allergic to it.
Oh, the nuts. Got it.
Can't do that, and don't really do soy. Oh, I tried. Rice milk. I don't know. We'll see.
You should try hemp milk because it's made from rope.
I think I tried that too. Eh. I see. All right. I could do those milks, any of those milks, but in cereal, it's weird. It doesn't absorb the same in the cereal. Like it's or
My
something.
mom
Like,
my
no.
mom loved the evaporated milk.
Oh, really?
She it's like it just made me just yeah. She liked that in everything.
Wow.
I mean, I'm like, I know we're on a budget, but damn, you know what I mean? It's like
I can
uh,
dig it. Um, We got some things. We actually going to talk about some sports today.
Yeah, yeah.
We are.
Well, getting back to basketball, I think the bigger playoffs aside, if we put the Sixers on this pedestal, do you think because the Sixers did announce a day after or 2 days after they were ousted, um, that they were going to stick with the head coach for another year?
Doc Rivers.
Um,
Well,
what are your
I
thoughts on that?
I've never been an advocate of saying somebody needs to lose their job, right?
Mhm.
I'm just not that guy. I just don't. It doesn't feel right to me. Even though I know he's Doc Rivers, he'll probably get hired again. He won't be hurting or whatever. I'm not in that man's pocket. Um, but that being the case, I was not surprised by the announcement. I was a little disappointed by the announcement, though.
Really?
I was because I feel like the last couple years, Doc has done some questionable things. He made some questionable moves, questionable substitutions. I feel like the younger guys have not developed the way I would hope they would have developed. Um, and when I think about some of the coaches that the Sixers have had, like they have they had Monty Williams, who's the coach of the Phoenix Suns now. Phoenix Suns, he's like a coach. He's been a coach of the year. The Phoenix Suns played in the finals last year. Ime Udoka, who's now the head coach of the Boston Celtics. What he's in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. So I feel like if they're going to go a different direction, the time is very soon, if
Right.
not now. And I will go with Sam Cassell, who was on Doc's coaching staff. I mean, when you have these guys that are coach of the year candidates in house, and you let two of them go and have nothing to show for it from the results of your team, something's not connecting. Something's not connecting there. So, I know these guys get offered jobs when somebody else is the head coach. I get that, but these you can't let these guys get out. But also to continue to answer your question, they just got finished paying Brett Brown,
Yeah.
right? I think Doc has 2 more years on the contract. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me. If they got rid of Doc this year and he doesn't get another job or whatever the case may be, now they will be on the hook again for paying another coach for another 2 years while paying the current coach at the same time. So
And
it's almost like a revolving door for them. They just keep doing the same stupid thing over and over again.
didn't they get caught up with that when I think it was after they fired Larry Brown and then after they fired Mo Cheeks. Then wasn't there like two interim coaches in between that they wound up paying because they fired early or something to that effect?
I I can't speak on the coaching situation because I don't remember, to be honest with you. I remember, I remember Mo Cheeks, I remember Larry Brown, I remember the interims they had. But what I do remember is they got caught up in paying Todd McCullough
Oh yeah.
years
And
after he was done playing. They gave him like a 10-year, $100 million
but it
contract or
was
something.
him and wasn't it like Kenny Thomas and
Might have been Kenny Thomas.
uh
I remember something about Kenny Thomas getting paid.
because he got overpaid by the like people were saying 10-15 million he was overpaid and then uh Hill I think was overpaid.
Well, they were all from the finals
The
year.
finals, right.
So they probably did overpay guys to get them they paid for the finals,
Right.
and I
No,
mean,
they only got
mission
one.
accomplished. They got steamrolled by the Lakers, but
Right.
they got to the finals. So that's that. Um, Moving on though, an incident happened this week in baseball. Was it this week or last week? It was
Last
this
week.
week or this weekend,
Yeah.
something like that. Was that last week?
Yeah, it was it's actually been
Maybe like
ongoing.
Friday.
Technically it's been ongoing.
Technically, it's been ongoing for the last almost 3 years now.
Mhm.
But let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm talking about the incident that happened between Josh Donaldson and Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson is a black baseball player. Josh Donaldson is a white baseball player. And basically, long story short, Josh Donaldson referred to Tim Anderson as Jackie Robinson. Brought forth a scuffle, a kerfuffle, would you? Um, but when you look deeper into it, this is not the first time this has happened. Miguel, you want to talk about this a little bit?
So a little background. So the Jackie comment, where did this come from? Quite a few years ago, um, Tim Anderson was interviewed. I forget by who,
I think
but
it was Sports Illustrated, I think.
I think it's, yeah, Sports Illustrated. He basically made the comment that he is kind of like the modern day Jackie Robinson, kind of meaning that he's trying to bring fun and joy back to the game, make the game fun again. So that's where he kind of compared himself to the Jackie Robinson. So I think there was an incident that happened, and this kind of goes back to when Josh Donaldson was with the Twins. And there was a bench clearing situation where he shouted at the White Sox because they were accused of cheating, with pine tar and stuff like that. So he yelled at them like, "Yo, no more sticky stuff" or whatever. But in the course of time, he made that comment before to Tim Anderson, where he said, "Hey, Jackie," and the issue is that the initial response, and this is what Josh Donaldson is claiming, was that he laughed. So in Josh Donaldson's mind, he's like, "Oh, well, that's a running joke between us. Hey, Jackie." But here's the thing: usually, a joke is two ways. It's a two-way street. Tim Anderson, from what I can gather and recollect, never publicly said that he even liked Josh Donaldson. But it looks like Josh Donaldson kind of thought in his mind, well, he laughed at that comment, so we're buddies. But they never were formally friends, kind of sort of thing. So something happened actually a couple weeks ago where there was a hard slide at third base. I think it was a pseudo rundown. Catcher throws the ball at third base. Josh Donaldson applies a hard tag to Tim Anderson and kind of lands on him and pushes him off the base. He's called safe because of that. And that kind of stirred things up again. And then the comment again, which I believe was it was during a day game at Yankee Stadium. Tim Anderson was coming off the field and met up with Josh Donaldson, and they kind of started jawing about that Jackie comment. And then Grandal, who's the catcher for the White Sox, got in his face, and he called him an effing pest. To say it, to paraphrase. So, you know, I talked about it with some of my colleagues, and I think there's a colleague of mine who mentioned that this kind of dates back to those undertone or those stereotypical names that people of color were kind of forced to accept, kind of like a step and fetch it kind of sort of situation. So, even Aaron Judge, who's a teammate of Josh Donaldson, he came out today and said, he shouldn't have, it wasn't something that he should have said, but we should move on from it. And I think Josh Donaldson had a team meeting and didn't apologize for the comment, but just restated his position on where he was coming from with the comment, saying, hey, I'm not racist here, da 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 da. So I think based on that and Judge's comment afterwards, I don't think it hit, so to speak. Um, Antonio LaRussa, of course, is livid with Major League Baseball because he got a 1 game suspension, out of it. So I think the other argument too is that Tim Anderson has kind of been silent about it. He's just kind of been, what, if he doesn't want to talk to me, I don't need to talk to him. I'm perfectly fine with that. But it may help if he just kind of came out and kind of cleared the air did it start off as a joke and get misconstrued, or is
Well, let me go into that a little bit of something I saw earlier today. It's an article from Fox Sports, and it basically starts off by saying Anderson said he didn't have a strong opinion on the MLB's decision to suspend Donaldson and fine him an undisclosed amount. Anderson did confirm he had a brief conversation in 2019 in which Donaldson called him Jackie. Anderson said he did say that. I told him we don't have to talk again. I won't speak to you. You don't speak to me if that's how you're going to refer to me. So, that's from that's from what they talked about what happened in 2019. So, if you were addressed in 2019 the way Anderson says he addressed Donaldson, are you thinking 3 years later it's an inside joke? It's a running joke between us.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what I think a player had said that Josh Donaldson is delusional. Um, and for those that don't know, Josh Donaldson isn't the most well liked player in baseball. He's been traded multiple times. Great player at times, but he has this reputation for being a pest. Because I even think he made a comment along those lines, like, I say what I say to kind of get in people's heads and stuff like that. So I think he was using that to try to get into Tim Anderson's head, because he's a fiery guy. You know what I mean? He's passionate and isn't afraid to fight back. You know, but even if that were his thing, the climate today is so much different from 2019 between all of the unarmed black men being shot and killed, and all the court cases recently with the shootings last week in Buffalo. It's like it's kind of like time and place, dude. He's like that dude that's like, he tells one joke and a person may smirk, and he kind of keeps coming back harder and harder, and he doesn't stop until the one adult in the room is like, yo, dude, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? He's that dude. So I think that he needs to be put in his place. And again, based on Aaron Judge's comment about this meeting that took place, that he defended his comment, it didn't sound like it hit well. And I don't think the locker room is gonna have his back. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded
Again.
again.
Yeah, I mean he plays in New York. That's a harsh place to be when a certain demographic could be looking at you a certain type of way.
Right.
Just saying. Ask what is it? John Rocker?
Yeah.
Wagner?
John Rocker. What did he say? Everybody in New York is has AIDS, and they sleep with each other. He made some crazy comment about the.
He said a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They need to do maybe they don't.
30 for 30.
Maybe not even a 30 for 30. Like, where is he now?
I don't care about that, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably not enough people care.
Yeah. So they did do that. I swear, I thought they did.
I think they did a 30 for 30 on something like John Rocker rides the train or something like that.
Yeah.
New York subway or something like that. But if you have an opinion on anything we were just talking about, or your top 5 tasty cake, hit us up 669-275-0323. That's 669-275-0323. And you can give us your opinion on what we've been talking about. Now, also, well, not also, but today the news drops that Colin Kaepernick, yes, that Colin, I can talk. Colin Kaepernick is working out with the Raiders. Now, it's been rumored for a few weeks now that was going to happen, but today was the day that the news officially dropped. We've had the Colin Kaepernick conversation on this show before, and I guess we're going to have it again because now he's back in the news. So let's talk about it. Miguel, Colin Kaepernick getting a chance to work out. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we're past the publicity stunt, phase of this. I was interested to see because anytime there's a Colin Kaepernick talk or whatever, I go to like Twitter and see what the pulse of the room is, if you will. Um, it seems like the thought is, there's one side of things it is a publicity stunt, and then there's the argument. Well, if a quarterback like I don't know who was the third string the backup to Minshew, if he can get a job, if he's better than about a third of the backup quarterbacks, and that's been the argument for quite some time. And then I think somebody threw a stat. Well, his last playoff game, he was 5 for 10 and threw 4 interceptions and had the worst playoff game ever. And then there's people that are like, well, Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions in a playoff game in 2017. Brady threw 4 interceptions in the playoff game, 8 years ago. So I think it's like there's got to be a team out there willing to take the chance, and it's probably going to be the Raiders, which wouldn't surprise me. But
Well, here has been my argument, and I preface this because I want Colin Kaepernick to succeed. I was a Colin Kaepernick fan when he was playing. Um, I supported his right to protest, supported his protests and all like that. And I think that he should have never been out of the NFL.
mhm,
But there are people that would say things like he's better than half the whatever string quarterbacks.
mhm.
How do we know that? How do we know? Nobody's giving him a workout. No, until now. He had the one scheduled workout. We don't even really know what that was all about. That whole thing was kind of wishy washy. We don't know what was going on there. But until now, no team has given him a workout. Um, and there's the argument that if he just wants to play football, there are places for him to play football, which is true. But I guess he believes he could still be an NFL quarterback. That's what he believes. Now, I think it's great the Raiders are giving him a workout. I hope he makes the team. I really do. I hope he makes the team. Um, I even hope he gets a chance to play as long as it's not against the Eagles. I really hope he gets a chance to play. Um, but let's be honest, we don't know what he has anymore.
Right.
We don't. Until he puts the pads on, until he puts the helmet on, and faces a defense and stuff like that. We really we don't know. But I'm wishing the best for him. Vegas, Vegas is if there's going to be a place to do it, the Raiders and Vegas, that's the place to make it happen. Um, all the best to him. Do you think he'll make the team, Miguel?
No. I mean, so the hardest part is, even even before the kneeling, he wasn't scraping together some of the best seasons in San Francisco, but you kind of point to, there was there was a coaching change, and then there was a philosophy change. It's kind of like when Randall Cunningham had Ray Rhodes as his head coach. And he went from the offense of, you run 5 or 6 great plays and win the game for us to the West Coast offense. He struggled with the West Coast offense because, he was used to throwing bombs. So he had his last season in Philadelphia was terrible. He thought he was done, whatever. He goes to Minnesota and has 4 of the best seasons ever. Mind you, I mean, he has Randy Moss and Chris Carter, but you see what he can do when he has talent around him.
I'm
You
still
know,
mad that team didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
I am too.
Uh,
All came down to a kicker, but Well, the Vikings team anyway, but the Eagles should have won like 7 Super Bowls. But even with Kaepernick, when you look at his track record, he was 4 yards away and a potential missed pass interference call from winning the Super Bowl. He was a quarter away from almost getting back to the Super Bowl. He lost in the NFC Championship, so he has the pedigree to do it. You know, is he better than a Tyrod Taylor? Is he better than a Jameis Winston? I think he does. I think based on the track record, he deserves the opportunity to prove himself again and try to get back. But I don't know if anybody's willing to do that at this point, which is a shame.
There's one. I'm always sound like a Debbie Downer, trying not to, but he brought up the Super Bowl that he was very close to winning.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that was 10 years ago? It doesn't seem like it, but that was 10 years ago.
As you say that, my arthritis just kicked in. But yeah, it definitely was.
10 years ago. That's crazy. Like I feel like any other quarterback that I feel like we wouldn't be saying that about any other quarterback. Like he was close to, like we wouldn't be saying about Steve McNair, God rest his soul. Like Steve McNair was probably this close to winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think we want Colin Kaepernick to get a chance so bad that we'll reach for anything to really put forward. He should get this chance because of this. That's this. Donovan McNabb was an interception. Excuse me. It must be damning to even say. I'm about to choke. Say Donovan McNabb was an interception away from winning a Super Bowl, right? They should have won that Super Bowl too. But with all that being said, it is what it is. Good luck to Colin Kaepernick. I hope everything works out for you on that. And I hope you're great. I hope you're great against everybody except for the Eagles, like I always say. One more quick thing I wanted to talk about. Maybe two. But an umpire apologizing after ejecting somebody. Now, talk about it because you saw that. Now, tell me something. Did he really apologize? Like,
so this is the most awkward. So there was the the video of it kind of does it justice. So basically, what happens? The rule now that in between innings, the umpire randomly checks the pitcher's glove to see if there's any apparatus, any
yes.
juices or whatever. So Madison Baumgartner from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's a pretty fiery pitcher, he gives him the glove, and this particular umpire, let me get his name because Dan Bellino. So as he grabs the glove, he's staring literally in Madison Baumgartner's face as it looks like he's getting a hand massage, and he's literally like massaging his hands, looking dead in his face like this for like 30 seconds. So Madison Baumgartner is staring back, and he looks down. He's like, "You good, bro?" And the umpire would not stop staring. So he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then the umpire tossed him. So of course, Madison Baumgartner goes absolutely nuts because this is like the third or fourth inning in a game. So you can look it up on YouTube. It's pretty wild. So the veteran umpire actually issued an apology, and it goes like this: "I would like to address my actions on May 4th involving Madison Baumgartner. When I began my Major League Baseball career almost 15 years ago, I received some good advice. I was told to umpire every game as if my children were sitting in the front row. I fell short of those expectations this week. While I can't go back and change what happened, I take full accountability. I will learn from this incident, and I sincerely apologize." Um, and
He went to no explanation as to why he threw him out.
well, he threw him out. So the rule is anytime a player, manager, anybody uses foul language towards an umpire that is derogatory about who they are, to kind of give you a hint of what he might said or
Okay.
where to go or where he's coming from, it's an automatic ejection. So that's probably along the lines that he said it's automatic, whether the umpire was right, whether the umpire was wrong. So in this case, the umpire was wrong. Major League Baseball is not taking any action against Madison Bumgarner. Duh. So it's one of those rare instances where, wow, finally, you know what I mean? After baseball's been around for 135 years.
My second instance of hearing an umpire apologize for tossing somebody.
I might have a third one, but go ahead.
Well, the first one was when a player of ours got tossed, and then the umpire ended up being our umpire for our next game and apologized for tossing the kid. I'm not gonna put names out there, but maybe it might have been the season that you were not around. It might have been that one season, but
At Penwood.
yes,
Oh, okay.
it was to not say any names. It was our shortstop that got tossed out of a Glen Mills game for yelling that the ball was outside when he got called out on a strike three.
I know who you're talking about. That was the season before I left. I do remember that,
Yeah,
and that umpire literally fell on the sword. He was a real nice guy though.
yeah.
I
He
do
came.
remember.
The next game was at Chester. He apologized. Whatever. But yeah,
I forgot, the last umpire, Major League Baseball umpire to apologize.
perfect
What?
game.
Perfect game. Yep.
I
That and
forgot his name, but I remember it every time I hear it.
man,
Every time I hear that he's one of the umpires in the game, I'm like, oh, that's the guy. I
yeah.
can't think of what his name is right now, but
And yeah, that was most because the guy that, and this was Jimmy Leland kind of being a jerk too, but he had the pitcher come out and bring out the lineup card, and the umpire, I mean, he cried like, oh man, it was,
he cried. He like blubber cry.
yeah.
Yeah, one of them. Oh, I'm sorry. It just
Oh
all
Lord.
right. It's about that time. About that time. Shane Victorino.
Good guess, wrong, however.
Damn. Oh man. All right.
I like how you went
We're
with your,
looking at the Cubs, the Phillies, and is that the Red Sox?
no.
See, that's why I
Uh,
got mixed up.
Angels. No, let me go in order. Cleveland, Philadelphia, and then at the time they were the Anaheim Angels.
What what the career? The career, where does it span?
Um, early 80s to early 90s.
Uh the Cubs, Phillies.
No, I, I didn't say the Cubs.
What'd you say?
Cleveland. It was
Oh, the
Cleveland,
Cleveland.
Philadelphia, and Anaheim.
And he was a one-time All-Star. Mitch Wild Thing Williams.
No, he wore the number 99.
Uh what position did he play?
He was an outfielder and first baseman.
Uh Oh, you know what? We did. Darnell wanted us to address something, and we did forget to address one thing. He said, please address the poor outfield play by the Phillies tonight and last night had costly errors in the outfield. Errors in the outfield will kill you.
Yeah.
They will kill you because that's extra bases on top of extra bases.
You and you know it's funny. I was watching the game last night, and when I saw Roman Quinn and that play in the ninth, as soon as I saw the sack fly, as soon as I saw Okuna look up, I turned the TV off. As soon as I saw the ball drop, I turned the TV off. I'm like, they're not winning this game. And you hate to do that, but there's always like those one or two games that you just know that there's no way they're going to recover from this. And I
Phillies have a center field problem. I hate to say it. Like I thought Odubel was going to come back and be decent, and he's not.
Odubel is a mental midget because he goes through these things where he has the yips of the brain.
Yeah,
like there, you saw that pitch that he swung at in Los Angeles.
His legs.
It looked like a cricket shot, and I remember you watch a broadcast and you never, very rarely do you hear announcers like become speechless. But I remember because I was watching that game too. I watched some pretty crappy games this week. When he made the swing, all you heard was John Kruk was like, no, it was Ben Davis. He was like, did he just swing at that? And my wife, who saw that, she was like, was he swatting at a fly? Did he call timeout?
So I've never done that, right? But I can almost see how it could happen. Almost.
No.
Let me tell you why. And there's no good excuse for it, as I say that.
None.
You know. I think he had in his head, I'm swinging at the next pitch, which you should never do in baseball. You should never just already decide I'm swinging at the next pitch because you're going to end up swinging at a bad pitch, right? I think he had in his mind, I'm swinging at the next pitch, and it started inside, and he started his swing, and that bad boy broke. That bad boy broke, and he couldn't stop. But just so happened to go through his legs and just looked even worse.
It's not even the first. I remember watching the game 3 years ago. Guy was pitching. He threw 11 straight balls. Walked the bases loaded with one out.
He swung at the first one.
First pitch. He swung at the first pitch in the dirt and grounded into a double play.
I think I was watching that game. I remember.
It's infuriating because you as a rookie, you've been at this for 6 or 7 years. It's just time. Now, like Roman Quinn, I'm rooting for like hell for, man, because he's got good baseball IQ, just the just bad luck with the injury thing. And I think last night or whenever it was, the other night, I think it was a case of Quinn and Castellanos they're still learning each other's vibe, so to speak. Because Roman called
they
for
like
the
they
ball.
play with each other a whole lot, even if
right.
You know,
because he called for
this season because Roman Quinn doesn't really play that much.
Right, and because he called for the ball, but then Nick, for whatever reason, tried to call him off, and it's like everybody knows center fielder takes charge. Right. So, but I think that's also a sign because Odubel doesn't take charge. So
Odubel does a lot. I did see Odubel in person make one great play, and I don't remember who they were playing. I had just got to the game, and I just happened to see Odubel rob somebody of a home run in center field one time. The first time I ever seen somebody do that in person. I thought it was the dopest thing in the world.
And then he probably struck out the next at bat.
He might have. I don't know. I don't even think when I went to that game, I don't even think I went to my seat. I think I walked around the entire game.
I mean, you can do that as CBP. Yeah.
All right. So one time All-Star, he played for the Guardians.
I like what you
said. Yeah. Played for Cleveland, played for the Phillies, and played for the Anaheim Angels. And he was an outfielder.
And first baseman.
So I feel like I want to say Ricky Jordan. But I don't think Ricky Jordan was an outfielder at all.
I watched my first at bat that I ever watched of baseball. I saw him because in his first at bat he hit a grand slam in Wrigley Field. And the
really?
Baby Blues, yeah. I was like, Ricky Jordan's the best baseball player on the planet. And then I was like, I didn't see him for 2 weeks. I was like, I guess he doesn't play all the time.
Yeah, Ricky Jordan was like the anomaly.
Yeah.
See Ricky Jordan playing like 3 games, and then all of a sudden you don't see him for like 3 weeks, and he's not hurt.
Yep.
Wow, I'm stumped on this one. Guardians, Phillies, Angels, from the 80s to about the early 90s. Early 80s to early 90s, outfield
And first base.
and first baseman. It's not Milt Thompson.
Nope. And I believe he has a feat that he was the first one to ever do this. He's the first person to ever do this feat again, and it made it even better because it was against the Mets.
I have no. I'm gonna be mad, aren't I? You know, the thing is, I can't remember outfielders from the 80s at all.
And the reason why is because the 80s was a forgettable. Outside of the Phillies winning the World Series in '80 and then their World Series appearance in '83, because you had Gary Maddox and
And I
Greg.
was a baby. 80, I wasn't born. 83, I was 2.
I was born in '79, and for the record, when I was born, all 4 teams went to the championship there, and it was the only time in the history of ever sports that every team went to their championship when I was born. For the record, okay, we can continue.
First time you said it was the first time?
It's the first time any city where all 4 teams went to the championship in the same year. The Flyers went to the Stanley Cup in May of 1980. The Sixers were in the NBA Finals in April of 1980. Phillies went to the World Series and won in 1980, and then the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in the '80 season. Only city to ever do it.
Good time to be alive. It's called that the City of Champions.
And it happened when I was born.
Well, you need to become born again.
Does that mean I gotta get baptized? No, let me stop.
I don't know how it works, but
I gotta die and come back.
I'm stumped, man. 26, 9, 26 and oh man, 26 and 9. What's the
So
nationality of the person?
white.
It was a white person.
Although I mean he looks Native American. He has some Native American features, but he's white. So 9 was his primary number. 26 he only wore for his first season. 9 he wore for the rest of his career.
Juan Samuel played second base, right?
Correct, and he was number 8. Actually, he was 16.
And actually, Juan Samuel wasn't white, so I don't even know why. I don't even know why my mind went there. His name is Juan Samuel,
I was like, you said what nationality? He's white. Oh, The Rock. No.
Wow. You got me good with this one. I need to go. I need to find a question for you. I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right. Shall I reveal the
That
answer?
was my game ball for my first ever coaching win right there.
Nice.
Yes, reveal the answer because I have no. I'm be mad probably when I see it, aren't I?
He also became a manager of the Camden River Sharks.
Oh shit.
Okay, never mind. All right, that doesn't. Okay, here it is. How about that, Von Hayes?
Yo, not that I thought it was him, but when I first didn't know, I was like, he was talking about Von Hayes today. I should just throw that name out there.
You did that before. I think you guessed like that before because I mentioned. Because I think there was one time I had Milt Thompson, and you're like, it's probably I watch it be Milt Thompson. I'm like, you're correct.
It's your turn, buddy. Now, this is one of the all sports cards. You want me to go back? What I can do is we're going to do this game show style. What I can do is I can ask you all the questions on this card and see how you do, or you could send this card back and I can randomly pick another card that maybe you'll have a better chance of answering all the questions. What do you want to do?
Juan Samuel. Well, let's do the first thing you said because I don't remember what you said the second
First
time.
thing I said was I can keep this one and ask you all the questions on it.
Oh, like not I don't get the category like
But the
Jeopardy.
category, yeah, the category is all sports.
Mm.
Still
Hit
want
me.
to keep it? All
Yeah.
right, here we go. First question worth 1 point. What is the minimum number of points a player must score to win a game of table tennis? Answer it, or do you want the multiple choices?
Is it 2? You have to win by 2.
Let me ask you the question again. I don't think you understand it. What is the minimum number of points a player must
Oh,
score to
minimum.
win a game of table tennis?
I didn't know there was a minimum.
You kind of got to get to a number.
That's how. Well, I guess, but what are the options?
Your options are 11 points, 20 points, 15 points, 21 points.
I'm gonna say 11.
11 is correct. That is number 2. What does the term touch refer to in a rugby game? Ooh.
Mm, mm.
What does the term touch refer to in a rugby game? Would you like your multiple choice?
Yes.
All right. Does touch refer to a poor tackle, the out of bounds line, a clumsy player, a short throw? Hmm. Can't even use the context clues in this one,
What are the options again?
huh? The options are: what does the term touch refer to in a rugby game? A poor tackle, the out of bounds line, a clumsy player, a short throw.
I'm gonna say a short throw.
That would be incorrect. The correct answer is the out of bounds line. I would have never got that.
Never got that. Yeah, I don't watch it enough to know
Yeah, I
either
would
way.
have never got
Because
that.
I because I initially I was gonna say like it's their version of a touchdown, but or a score, but that's called
I would
something
have
else.
thought so too, but all right, here you go. A third question. I got this bright light in front of me and then this bright light over here, and it's hard to see the card. I'm sorry. That's why I'm like trying to find the right angle. All right. Which athlete ran the 100-meter dash in 9.58 seconds in 2009, setting a world record unbroken as of 2019?
Is that Bolt?
Usain Bolt is correct.
Yo!
That one was kind of easy.
I almost forgot his name. I just said Bolt. I forgot his name.
All right, here we go. Which type of surface is used for the course of a typical motocross race? Which type of surface is used for the course of a typical motocross race?
A hard one. What are the options?
The options are dirt, gravel, asphalt, concrete.
Asphalt.
Asphalt is incorrect. Would you like to take another guess?
What type of motocross?
Yes, motocross.
Is it dirt?
Dirt is correct.
I
It is
I
dirt.
forgot the yeah. Okay.
Here you go. Which computer game is played at the International, a multi-million-dollar annual esports tournament? Ooh.
Which what?
Which computer game is played at the International, a multi-million-dollar annual esports tournament? The esports tournament is named the International. So which what game is played at the International?
Is it Madden?
No, unfortunately, it's not. But I'll give you the four multiple choice: Counter Strike, Fortnite, Dota 2, Overwatch.
Fortnite?
Fortnite is incorrect.
I don't know the others because I have a wife, so
The
and I don't live in my mom's basement.
answer is Dota 2. I have no idea what Dota 2 is. I don't know. I've probably heard of it, but I don't know.
Let me see if I can spell it right. Dota 2. Oh,
I
D O.
got GOTA. So I
Yeah.
have one more for you.
Dota is the deepest multiplayer action RTS game ever made, and there's always a new strategy or tactic. Oh yeah, I this is definitely for virgins. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Last question. The Olympic Games officially started when archer Antonio Rebolo lit the torch with a short arrow. I'm sorry. Let me read this again. Which Olympic Games officially started when archer Antonio Rebollo, Rebolo or Rebollo, lit the torch with a short arrow, a shot arrow?
Jesus Christ.
It's the lights. I'm trying to figure this out. With with a shot arrow.
Let's see. They usually do. I'm trying to think of the name. That sounds rather Italianish or Latino-ish. Give me the options.
Your options are Tokyo 1964, Atlanta 1996, Barcelona 1992, Beijing 2008.
Barcelona.
Barcelona is correct, mundo. I knew you were going to get it as soon as you said about what you said about the name. Now, when you said Italian, I said, all right, he's barking up the wrong tree. But then he said Latino. I said, all right, I think he's going to get it after he gets here's all the options. I actually remember that. I am an Olympics junkie in a sense.
Really?
Kinda. Like I'm not the guy that's going to reel off all the statistics of some of the stuff. But I'm like, the Olympics are on, I'm watching. And that might be all I'm watching. Like I'm watching at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm watching at 12. I'm watching the Olympic basketball team had their gold medal games and all like that. It was like 5 o'clock, no, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was watching. I'm watching swimmers. I don't know what it is about it. I just love the Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Olympics. Um, and I love the Olympics, man. It's
I
just
mean, it's a showcase of the best in the planet.
the best of the best from around the world, and
Do,
just
do you, do you think that the Olympics are going towards having like a true super athlete? Because right now, I mean, everything's divided up. You have the best, the fastest male in the world, female in the world, and I only say that because of we kind of touched on it a couple of times, but as far as like the gender, um,
oh, you mean like
because I couldn't help but notice before everything happened with the swimmer at Penn, and I noticed that the last couple of Olympics, there's been like the mixed sex races, like like I think there was a 400 and two,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they had the mixed the mixed
Mhm.
The mixed race.
It was like a 4x4 that they ran, and
Right.
it was men and women. And it was interesting. What was interesting about that race that particular event was there's no, at least when they ran it, there's no rule as to you have to run a guy in first, you have to run a girl first. Like there's no,
Right.
you strategize it yourself. So it was pretty. I thought it was pretty interesting the way they did it, and
Mhm.
the fact that you strategize it yourself, and like I thought it was really good. You know what? And it might be me being naive. I didn't see that as a opening towards the transgender thing. Like as an opening, like almost kind of opening the door for the transgender Olympian. Um, I only saw it, and it might just be my naive Olympic mind. I saw it as a new Olympic event that they were trying. Um, I don't really see it being very successful. However, they could, and I'm like, I got 1,000 thoughts going through my head right now. They could really streamline that event to be they can make very specific rules for that event, or they can keep it light. They could say they could literally say like you would have to be born of, I don't know how I would say it, but you have to be born a man, born a woman to compete. Like, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't be a transgender man. I don't even know how it works, but what up,
Well,
Dewey? Saying what's up. People saying what's up and saying, "Hey, coach, I don't know if it's one of your coach or I mean one of your kids, one of my kids, but I know we have a kid we call Dewey on the team." So, um, I don't know if I don't know what the proper term would be for a man, a born man, now a woman. I guess they're a transgender woman.
right.
So they could make the rules very specific as to say you have to be born a man or born a woman and competing as such, because then you could essentially have three men in the race, four men in a race that's designed for. And I know I'm on a slippery slope, but I got as my one of my college coaches used to say, I got broad shoulders. I got broad shoulders.
Well,
Um,
it doesn't hurt. Like we're asking the question, right? And it's not. I believe that whenever there's something we're unsure about, as long as we're the intent is for knowledge and for
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. It's all about intent. You're not being malicious. You're not saying
And side note, it's coming out saying that the person that attacked Dave Chappelle was doing because of his LTBJ
LGBT.
LTBG. You know I'm getting the words wrong. Sorry, the letters wrong. LTBGQ. There you go. Because of those jokes or the transgender jokes he was saying, that's why he was being. That's why he attacked him. But that's. I just wanted to put that out there. But they can make the rules very specific
Mhm.
as to what they want, how they want people to compete, and what they want people to how they want them competing. But that's going to be very interesting. Something we could take a look at. Something we could keep an eye on, because that's going to be coming up next year, I believe. What's this? 20? No, 2 years. 2 years.
24.
2024. 2024 it could be coming up again, but it actually could be coming up next year. I think the World Championships will be next year, 2023, and then the following year is the Olympics. So or the World Championships this year. I don't know. I have to look. I'm sorry, but with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us for the Check Swing podcast. Once again, I'm getting over a cold, a non-COVID cold. It's like you have to preface that now by saying it's not COVID. Still got a sore throat, so thanks for riding with us. I was over here with my lozenges, trying to do my thing. But with all that being said, we appreciate y'all hanging with us. We'll talk to y'all next time on the Check Swing podcast. And until then, make sure you are subscribed to our Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. Hold on, let me say this correct. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel here at New Twist Radio. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at New Twist Radio. And make sure you subscribe and follow the Check Swing Podcast on all the social media platforms. With all that being said, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us. We'll talk to y'all next time here on the Check Swing Podcast. Peace out.